How are we doing?
Yeah, I think I've been hit by a Category 5 hurricane. I don't know if but I think it swept me all the way to Bloomington, Indiana.
All right, man, let's just make sure my mic is on. Good evening. I'm sure they're partying in Bloomington, wherever it is. Thank you very much for all of you guys for joining us here for our instant reaction to the final game of the college football season, the CFP Championship. Like and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. So I guess this is a collaboration, Big D, Spunky Spectrum Sports, over 100 subscribers now as well, and Driving to the Top Productions and the Ravori-sports podcast. So, like all of our social media content, Ravery Sports, we got a lot of content here coming up. Shopping website rebrand February 6th, that's Super Bowl weekend. We're going to go ahead and talk about the rebranding of our website, Orioles, Ravens, jerseys, our Fanatics links. We're going to talk about all that fun stuff. We're going to start our interview series the Saturday, before the Super Bowl, the February 7th. We're going to let you know who the guest is on Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be here, instant reaction after the game as well. And we're going to do a pregame before that as well. Ravori Sports blog spot. So every day, 5 days a week. Of course, tomorrow we're going to be talking about the championship game, the surprising firing of Sean McDermott today. That was crazy to me. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. It'll be in the blog tomorrow as well. Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia. If you know, you know. And Ravori Sports, also in Harris, LegalShield.com. All that other fun stuff. Real quick, we're supposed to be talking about the game tonight. Anything you want to say about Sean McDermott, real quick, before we get started with the football? I mean, that was beyond crazy.
Honestly, I wasn't surprised. I'm like, as soon as Buffalo lost the game, I'm like, I think Josh Allen and Sean McDermott knew both guys were gone. I think Sean McDermott knew he was going no matter what. Because the Bills cannot end up wasting Josh Allen's prime. I mean, the Ravens fired John Harbaugh, which surprised me.
Harbaugh and Tomlin, and I don't want to go too far in this because we're going to get to the game here, but Harbaugh and Tomlin, they've been there 20 years. That kind of makes sense. Whether you agree or you don't agree, makes sense. Like McDermott was 98-50, won the division 5 times, 9 seasons, 8 times in the playoffs. Not good enough?
Well,
that's hard. That's pretty good considering they were horrible before he got there.
Well, guess how many times the Buffalo Bills got to a Super Bowl in that span?
0.
With arguably the best quarterback in football the last 4 or 5 years.
Better be careful what you're asking for. I got to tell you. That's just why I sit with it. I mean, I don't know, but like that's pretty harsh. Pretty hard stuff. All right. Game tonight, as we just saw it, Hoosiers winning the national championship 27-21 over the Miami Hurricanes. So I've been watching a lot of Indiana during the course of this season, watching a lot of the Big Ten. They have been steamrolling opponents all season long. This was close tonight. This was physical. This reminded me of a Ravens Steelers game tonight, Dylan. It really did. This was physical, hitting in the mouth. It was chippy. It was both quarterbacks, good quarterbacks, had trouble because of the good defenses, the good schemes. Fantastic stuff tonight. And so what did you think? What was your first thoughts on this?
I thought the only way for Miami to win this game was literally hit Fernando Mendoza in the mouth. They did more than that early, but you could see as the game progressed. I almost think of this CFP National Championship like a Super Bowl. You see guys start off the game defensive going 100 million miles an hour, but as the game goes on, the adrenaline goes away, and it turns into an offensive game. And we saw both offenses come to life, and I think we would all say the better quarterback and probably the better coach won this game because Miami might have more guys eventually drafted, especially in the first round in April and in future years. But Indiana's got a bunch of grown men, and the biggest grown man is the guy on the center because Miami flat out went after Mendoza.
I thought that was the most I've seen him hit all season. He's had a pretty, I don't want to say charmed life, but that offensive line Indiana has really been moving it all year long, really been doing it. And he was hit constantly tonight. If you're talking about Mendoza and his NFL stock, it rose only in the sense of like, this guy's got an NFL body, man. I mean, he was getting hit a lot. Those two edge rushers, we know how good they are on Miami, Bain and Messidor. I mean, and they were really having their way tonight, and he really still really showed something tonight against that good edge rush that Miami had in this game. So I think if anything, it showed his NFL stock was really improved based on just on that. Not a great game statistically and all that, but definitely his resilience in this was really good.
Yeah, looking back, I mean, it seemed like especially late that Mendoza hit Miami on a couple back shoulders, hit Beck on a couple back shoulder throws. But to me, I'm gonna look back at not just the back shoulder throws, but that fourth down run. You know what play that reminds me of, and you might be able to remember. You remember the Super Bowl run? I think it was third and Packers Broncos Super Bowl 32.
Mm-hmm.
When John Elway goes head over heels and gets that first down. Yeah. That was a design quarterback draw, 1,000%. And Mendoza knew he was going to take a hit, and not only got the first down, ended up doing one of those plays. I mean, and Mendoza's not really an athlete. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Pat Mahomes. But that quarterback run changed the game.
He's not a Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. You're not going to confuse with him, but he's a Cam Newton, Josh Allen type runner. I mean, he's going to run over somebody. I mean, if you're going to get in his way, good luck with that. I mean, because he's going to definitely run over you as well. Let's go over this a little bit. Game was brutal. We kind of talked about at the beginning. Brutal, old school. Chris Berman, day fat. Set the tone up front. I was really impressed with the two edge rushers, Messidor and Bain. Messidor had 2 sacks. He had 1 sack as well. Wrench was pressure. Answered. They equaled the Hoosiers' physicality in this one. The Hoosiers' defense, I thought, was really too good. Rajah Hardy and D'Angelo Pons was the eye opener, wasn't he? I mean, he was really.
I'll tell you what, D'Angelo Pons did not look like he was swimming in a pond. He looked like he was bigger than the Pacific Ocean tonight.
I kind of saw this last year with Upton Stout, who kind of played this year with the Niners.
Yeah,
I saw him on the film, and he goes like, "Man, he's small, but he doesn't act like it. He hits and does everything with the bit, and that's what you saw tonight with him. I mean, he just got right in there, took Carson Beck. Carson Beck's a big guy. I mean, Carson Beck's like 6'4", took him right down, run right past the DBs. So I was really impressed. So you saw Miami. Their strength is their front four, especially the edge rushers. Indiana has those jackrabbits on the back end. So their linebackers, their DBs, and everything like that. It's hard to get anything going with those guys.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, Miami could not move the ball in the first half. I mean, one decent drive where the kicker missed the field goal, but Fletcher really didn't go, and Malachi Tony didn't have any space. I thought Indiana did a really good job of limiting what Beck and the Canes could do early.
The likely number 1 pick in the draft, Fernando Mendoza for Indiana and Carson Beck. I thought they took a backseat to the run game tonight. Miami's Mark Fletcher clipped over 100 yards. Keon Black and Roman Henry combined for over 100 yards on to power Indiana's offense. Roman Henry, by the way, for those of you Ravori Sports, for Terps fans, the Terps didn't think this guy was good enough to give running yards. And all he did was be the main guy to the national championship, even though it was a combo as well. I thought
talk about being the tortoise in the hare, right?
Yeah, exactly. I thought the run game saved the bacon of both teams. Both quarterbacks had trouble, as good as they were. I thought like they were really good. I think Miami's secondary was very, very, very aggressive in this game as well. Their corners, they got away with a lot of holding, I thought. I mean, frankly, but both sides did. But the receivers, I thought Indiana's receivers have been better than I saw tonight. A lot of drops. And I thought that was because of the good defensive play by Miami on that side as well. Beck NFL stock, I don't know. He didn't hurt himself, right? I don't think he did. I mean,
Beck
I don't know. I don't know if he's a high draft pick like Mendoza, but I don't think he hurt himself.
I think Beck's the day. I think Beck's the day 2 pick.
I think let's see what happens with him at the combine and all that other fun stuff. I think what the fascination people are going to have with him is the size. If you look at a lot of the quarterbacks in this draft, outside of Mendoza, they're not real big. I mean, Ty Simpson, Chambliss, you know what I'm saying? Drew Aller, exactly. Diego Pava, like Carson Beck is 6'4", so I could definitely see that didn't hurt himself as well. They wouldn't have played in the game. Speaking just about the college side of it, they wouldn't have got this far without Carson Beck as their quarterback. I thought for the most part he was good, but you could see definitely the separation, like you said, between Mendoza and Carson Beck in this game. Like one guy is a thoroughbred, didn't make mistakes, showed up in third down, showed up at the crucial moments. Beck kind of, didn't not as much in my opinion.
Before we talk about Mendoza, what did you think of the punt? Because a lot of people are going to say, well, that's more on Indiana's coaching. Yes, some, but that was the longest. But Dylan Joyce's punt lasted about 3.5 hours.
The punt, you talking about the black punt, or are you talking about
the black punt?
The black punt. I thought that was the whole game right there. All 3 aspects. You get that black punt. They don't win that game without the black punt. I don't think.
I mean, Indiana's got 8 block kicks in the last 2 years. Is that because Indiana's players are more aggressive? Is that because of coaching?
That's coaching. That's coaching all the way. You don't do it
that
much.
That's
coaching.
Yeah, and how many times would Bill Belichick's team block a kick or run some kind of a special teams play in a big game?
You would see that often. Belichick and as a guy, John Harbaugh is very much like that. Just to use him for an example, he was a special teams coach. He coaches all 3 aspects. Like Frank Beamer, Virginia Tech, used to be like that. He was a special teams coach. He makes sure his special teams are tight and everything like that. That was such a thing like that. 8 black punts is not an accident. that's good. Clearly, Miami wasn't expecting that. Not at all. I mean, they were just totally taken off guard. How to react, and a lot of times when you have a big special teams play, that's the most in a football game you watch where you see panicking. Where you'll see guys just lose it, like on the field. And that's exactly like they blocked the punt, and it's like, okay, they could have dove on the ball, they could have did something, they could have at least got the 6. Indiana was ready to go in that situation.
Yeah, and where I see coaching matters, not necessarily offense or defense, but special teams. Like when Alabama tried to fake punt in the Rose Bowl, Indiana was not buying it 1,000%. Indiana's ready. You want to try a fake punt? Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, because I was just going to the fake punt in the notes, flipping that in the 5 1/4. Kamara made the fake punt on the goal line, in the Hoosiers punched it in, special teams execution, game-changing touchdown. I think that was the whole thing. you talk about Kurt Szigeti. I think the only reason he's not getting more NFL interest is his age. He doesn't look it, but he's about 65 years old. Like, so I think that's a thing it's probably why he didn't have more college interest on top of that either. After even what he did at JMU, but I think that's probably why he's not getting any more information. He was clearly the best coach in college football. Wasn't close. I mean, what he did, what he's able to do. I mean, he even in the Big Ten, these games, at least Miami was able to stay on the field. Most teams weren't able to all year long with Indiana. They couldn't stay on the field with the Hoosiers.
Yeah, and I think in many ways, Coach Cincinnati is underappreciative. Because we think of the good college football coach, Ryan Day, or Kirby Smart, or Salk, or some of these other, whether it be a Harbaugh or Saban. But I think what Coach Cincinnati's done. By the way, Indiana was one of the misfits of college football. I mean,
yes.
I mean, Indiana would be like the Cleveland Browns in the NFL. And Coach Cincinnati won a national title in Indiana. It wasn't like he won a natty at Alabama or Notre Dame. He won it in Indiana.
I don't even got him as the Browns. I mean, the Jets or the car. I mean, just even as a Maryland fan, like, in Maryland has never been any good in terms of football and national.
Hey, at least Maryland made an Orange Bowl.
But we would look at Indiana like not even a thing. I mean, and even before he got there 2 years ago, like, it was. I mean, we was looking forward to Indiana, and they have what they've been able to accomplish in 2 years. I mean, they were easily the most dominant team. That's what was so unbelievable with them in the last couple of years. In the era of NIL and all this money on coaches, and Lane Kiffin getting $80 million, $15 million, and all this other stuff, and blah blah blah, and Sark and all this money. A school in Bloomington, Indiana, that's never won, just beat the brakes off of everybody in the Big Ten,
and became the first 16-0 national champ.
Oh yeah, that without the question. Fourth thing, in the fourth quarter, Carson Beck to Malachi Tony, 22-yard pass to deliver the decisive blow. Charlie Becker, I think I got his name right there, for 19 yards, showing confidence late. Herbie on the broadcast and Fowler said he hadn't dropped a pass all year long. That's insane for a receiver. And that's where Mendoza went with the football when he needed it the most. Didn't drop a pass. Malachi Tony getting that touchdown. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you remember watching Rocket Ishmael, that name. That's exactly who he reminded me of. Every time, I don't know if he's ever going to be a great route runner receiver. He never needs to be. Every time he touches the ball, it's going to be serious business. You better be ready for him to take it to the house, take it all the way with his type of jets that he has.
I don't know what Tony's 40-yard dash would be, but everybody's going to say not just the number. He's got a little Tyreek Hill. I don't know if he's quite Tyreek Hill fast. I want to see him run more, but that guy's got some wiggle.
Here's the thing with Tyreek Hill and Tony and Rocket Ishmael like this, which is almost important. Not just the speed, because guys are fast, but even as Zay Flowers, he's got that instant acceleration. Like, as soon as he gets it, boom, he's gone. He's at top speed almost right away. He's at top speed. He doesn't take long to go ahead and get the football. So he's really good in terms of getting the football right away. He's at top speed immediately.
Speaking of speed, who's the fastest football player you've ever seen?
At any position?
Regardless of position.
I'm going to say, in just terms of east-west speed, I don't think I ever saw anybody faster than Bo Jackson.
That's a
Bo
pretty.
Jackson, Bo Jackson, I thought it was even more noticeable in baseball with Bo. You couldn't. I mean, here's the thing with him. He didn't even know how to play. That seems silly to say, but he was such a good athlete, it didn't matter. And on the football field, it was kind of the same way. Like he was just a natural. He was so fast. It was such a he made a problem for everybody.
In terms of hero speed, Bo would definitely be in that group. I think I have one, and he's right, and he played right in your area in the Beltway. Are you thinking who I'm thinking?
Faster in oh, are you talking about Daryl Green? You got to be talking
Yeah,
about Daryl Green if you're talking about just speed in terms of
that guy, Daryl Green, last pick of the first round in 1983 from I think Texas A&I, not Texas A&M, not Texas Tech, not Texas, and
I thought.
became one of the fastest corners in NFL history.
Here's the thing about Daryl Green, which is even more phenomenal as well about Daryl Green. He was like not only just speed when he was younger, but he was in the league as a DB until like age 40. Like, and he still was outrunning 22-year-olds and all that, etc., which was bananas. Like that he has that type of speed, like at the advanced age. So that was what was really impressive.
And here's the interesting question: watching Mendoza play, and you probably watched him more than me in the Big Ten this year. Who does he remind you of?
Um, well, we haven't done the official ravori-sports comp yet of
Okay,
all that,
okay,
but
okay.
I'll tell you. No, he kind of reminds me of what I'm seeing of Jalen Hurts. Just run RPO. He's strong doing that. It'll be interesting to see at pro level if he can not run RPO, but he's a bigger version of Jalen Hurts. The way he throws the ball, really just on the straight line all the time, runs the ball kind of north south and everything like that. So a bigger, stronger version of a Jalen Hurts, that type of success. I
I
don't
think
know. I don't know how good he would be without RPO in the NFL. I'm a
I think
little. I'm a little. It gives me a little pause. I think whoever they hire in Oakland, I'm sure that I said Oakland, Las Vegas, whoever they hire is can't be that stupid to think like you're not going to do that though. I think whatever it is, you're just going to implement what he does on offense, or hire somebody to implement what he does on offense.
I think Mendoza reminds me a lot of Joe Burrow coming out of LSU.
That good, Joe Burrow? Um,
Maybe even a touch more. I don't know. I mean, this kid is incredibly smart. Got his business degree from California in 3 years. And what I see, it does matter. Man, I remember Joe Burrow getting the you know what being out of him at LSU. And then the next year, didn't matter. Put together maybe the greatest season we've ever seen. And in Mendoza, same thing. Despite not having the best weapons. And assuming the Raiders take him, I think Mendoza's got a chance to succeed. The Raiders have a good left tackle in Colton Miller, a very good tight end, a great tight end in Brock Bowers, and a really good running back in Ashton Jeanty. They need they need a head coach with stability and a really good wide receiver.
the Raiders aren't going to be any good next year.
Well, I don't think so
The
either,
Raiders aren't,
especially in that
aren't going to be.
division with
They're
Nick and
way.
Keenan, Herbert and Harbaugh, Reed and Mahomes.
Uh, uh, their defense is just awful. Even if you bring Mendoza in and he's good, and I think he's definitely going to be good at the next level. But that defense is terrible. If you even have Max Crosby on it, which could be worse. Like, so I don't know how good you're going to be next year if you're the Raiders. at all. I think it's more of a long-term play. It's more of a long-term play. I think definitely have to take. Look, there ain't no quarterbacks to take besides Mendoza now with Dante Moore going back. I mean, for me, he's the only one really with a really strong first-round grade. That's it. I don't think there's anything else. So you might as well go ahead and do it as well. I think the Jets, they have 2 first-round picks, so they could take Ty Simpson a little bit later. They took Tim Chambers.
Gosh. Oh God.
They
Let
could
me
do
tell you
that.
this. I'd rather get paid $4 or $5 million in college and be drafted by the Jets. I
Well, I
do
think
not want to be drafted by the Jets.
honestly, I think this is part of why Dante Moore went back.
100%.
I think like even with Dylan Raiola going to, I mean Dylan Raiola, because that's kind of when I thought, okay, so you're bringing in Dylan Raiola at Oregon because Dante Moore's leaving. No, he's staying. So that's I cannot believe that they're doing that he's. I think that's part of it. You don't want to play for the Jets. You see, this is a train wreck. I don't want that. I might as well, especially with the money they're making in college now. Like, the hell with that.
Yeah, I mean, get paid. Yeah, get paid. I think Dante Moore is getting 7 or 8 mil. I don't know what Dylan is, but
is it 7 million?
Maybe more.
Jesus, bro, that's more than he would have made in the NFL. At least as a first-year player.
Hold on, let me see what Dante Moore. 7.5 million.
That's insane. That's completely insane. Last thing, Indiana pulled off one of the most improbable seasons to shatter expectations after. Do I have the rest of it there? I don't think I have the rest of it there. Shatter expectations. So Indiana just rose from the ashes here as well. I don't think they're done either. The Hoosiers. They have, from everything I'm hearing, they're getting a good transfer portal again. He's been working while getting that as well. Michigan is a real mess, as we know. They did bring in Kyle Whittingham. Is a mess. Ohio State lost some guys in the transfer portal, although they're still going to be pretty good. So I don't see any reason why Indiana couldn't be better.
Penn State won't be the same. I love the head coach, but Penn State. A lot of those Penn State players are now at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Penn State is in a bit of a transition as well after getting rid of James Franklin. Not to circle back to the McDermott thing, are expectations too high? I'm starting to think that like fans are expecting way too much from some of these. I mean, just McDermott getting fired. I mean, that's just crazy, man. That's just crazy. I mean, that's just to me like you know. And again, not quite the same as Harbaugh and Tomlin, who had been there for 1,000 years. You can move on after so long, but you know, McDermott had a pretty good daggone coach. I mean, that you're just sending away here as well. I mean, in college, I think it's even higher than that in some places. I mean, how do you think it goes if Lane Kiffin goes 2-0? 0-2 next year at the start. I mean, how do you think they react to that?
Let me tell you this: if Lane Kiffin goes 10-2 next year, LSU, somebody at LSU will say, "Get this guy out of here."
And that's 10-2. that's 10-2. It's like this. It's in college football. It's like this. If you're 10-2 at James Madison, you're a genius. If you're 10-2 at Alabama, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not. But somebody's going to be 10-2. Texas, I mean, didn't make the college football playoff. They were pretty good. Vanderbilt, really good. I mean, and you have these expectations. I think. I mean, do you think expectations are too high for coaches, fans, and all that, etc.?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I think if you have a great quarterback or a team that gets a lot of money, should be expectation. I mean, Alabama fans may want Kalen DeBoer fired, but Alabama's clearly not the team it was under Saban.
Yeah, but you're never gonna have that. I mean, how do you replicate what Nick Saban did?
You
I mean,
can't.
you can't. There's no way. Hubert, and this is basketball, but Hubert Davis is kind of going through that in North Carolina. Like, dude, you're following Dean Smith and Roy Williams. Like, there's no following that. Whatever. I mean, there's no. You gotta. It's just a season be getting heightened. We're not managing expectations. The Packers wanted their coach fired. A lot of them on Twitter, if you saw it, they wanted their coach fired. They wanted their coach done. I mean, Matt LaFleur, I think it's a top 5 quarterback. 10 more minutes.
By the way, Coach Zanetti is now the 4th active head coach to win a national championship. The other 3, Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, and Ryan Day. And you know what's interesting? The Big Ten's won 3 straight national championships with 3 different schools. Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana.
I've been saying.
You know what that means? The SEC run, done.
I've been saying that for the last couple of years. I've been saying that for the last couple of years with the SEC. It's a bit of a fraud. It's what's funny? I'm glad you brought that up. You know what, tonight on College Game, and I didn't watch College Game Day, but I did see it on Twitter where 3 of their I don't know who it was. Everybody but McAfee picked Miami to win the game tonight. That's crazy. Like, did you watch the games?
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I think in a way, I mean, it was weird because both the coaches are both Saban disciples. Maybe Saban's got something for, I don't know, but maybe the fact that Indiana had not been tested in the playoff and Miami had been tested against A&M, Ohio State, and Ole Miss swayed. I don't know.
It's a clear, and I don't want to rail on corporate media and all that stuff. I don't want to go too far there, but they just have an SEC bias. I mean, if you're not, I mean, they haven't been. Georgia is really, to me, in the most recent years, been the only team that's been really, really. If you want to go ahead and really say that a team is really good, it's Georgia. Alabama, you got questions. Texas, you got questions. Oklahoma, you got questions. I mean, I'm not sure any of those teams, except for Georgia, is better than anybody in the SEC, in the Big Ten, the top 5 teams. Better than Ohio State, better than Indiana, better than Michigan. I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
Well, you know,
but they talk like it's true. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, other than the Texas schools, the Big Ten schools are have more money. That is clear. I mean, Georgia's not the team it was 3 or 4 years ago.
That's true. I think Georgia's still better, though, than – I think they're better coached, et cetera. They have Kirby Smart still. They're better. I put Georgia there, even though, yeah, you're right. They're not as good as what they were.
By the way, literally in the last couple of minutes, Titans are working to finalize a deal to hire Robert Saleh as their next head coach.
So this is what? 3rd recycled coach now? I think this is the 3rd one out of the 4 that have been hired have already been head coaches. Saleh, Harbaugh, and Stefanski.
I watched Saleh getting another chance. I just wonder who his OC is going to be. Probably one of the 49er assistants.
It's funny. I thought that was going to be Matt Nagy because they've already given his job away in Kansas City. They hired back Eric Bieniemy as OC, so that means Nagy's not going to be there. So that's kind of what I thought. Now he could be going as an OC somewhere else, I guess, but I it's fascinating. It's fascinating. 10 head coach openings we had this year. 10.
Yeah.
That's a third of the league. You only got 32 teams. Now some like Baltimore, Pittsburgh don't come off very often. So that's so I think that's why that's a bit that's very Pittsburgh.
I've got a question. Who's the NFL's longest tenured head coach right now?
Andy Reid.
That would be a good one. In the NFC.
I think it's McVay or Shanahan now at this point.
Yeah, probably McVay. There's the only one with.
He's still like one of the younger coaches in the league. I think McVay or Shanahan. I think
McVay's turning 40 this week.
Andy Reid is the longest tenured in terms of Philadelphia, and you could have said it in terms of Philadelphia if you combine, because he has never had a season off kind of Philadelphia and KC, but now just his time in KC makes him the longest tenured guy in the league.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. Quickly, who do you want the Ravens to hire, and who do you expect the Ravens to hire?
I think it's one of three guys. I think it could be Anthony Weaver, who actually played for the Ravens as a defensive end, got drafted by Ozzie Newsome, was a Ravens assistant. I think that's definite possibility. I think Jesse Minter is, I think, the favorite in the clubhouse. I think he's a guy that definitely familiar with in terms of that. I think Clint Kubiak is who the fans are clamoring for. I think he's worked with Mike McDonald. So I think it's one of those three in terms of that, with Salah and a lot of those guys off the board all already. I do not think they're going to hire a coach that's already been a coach. I do think they're going to hire preferably a first-time coach.
Any chance that the Ravens? Any chance the Ravens hired the Jaguar defensive coordinator?
Yes, because I do think that's something they would go off the board and do. John Harbaugh was kind of their off the board hire, so I do think
you could argue Mike Tomlin was an off the board hire.
Yeah, so I do think they would consider somebody completely off the reservation. And I'm almost positive, and this is just speculation, that Steve Bisciotti knows what he wants to do. I'd be shocked if he didn't know. If he kind of, I think that could be. Yeah, I don't know if it's him or the guy from the Rams, the pass game coordinator, or something like that. But I think it's one of those three, or somebody completely off the board, completely that you're not expecting. I don't think it'll be a veteran coach.
And then if the Steelers get Mike McCarthy, I'm like, of course the Steelers get a bowling hire. I'm like, the Steelers haven't made a bold move in 30 years.
I think there's no reason to hire Mike McCarthy if you're the Steelers. None. I think the only reason you do that is if you keep Aaron. That's the only thing I could think of like that where you'd even consider that. Like,
I think the Steelers have to. You know what the Steelers should do? The Steelers should be bad and then get one of the quarterbacks next year, because Pittsburgh's not going to get Mendoza.
I don't know what they do at quarterback.
I think the Steelers tank for a year and then one of the quarterbacks next year, whether it be Moore, whether it be Manning, or somebody. Saying.
I think they're going to try and get Aaron to come back. I really do. I really think they're going to try.
I think Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback in the Minnesota Vikings next year.
I think that's possible. I think that's possible, and I think in that situation he wouldn't have to rush and do anything because they already have JJ McCarty there to back him up or compete with him or whatever. So I don't think they would rush out there and do it. All right, sir. Is anything else? You got to go. They're going to start yelling at me here. It's like after 12 and people.
Same here.
I thought the game tonight. Let's get it up on the screen one more time here, as well. 27-21. First national championship for the Indiana Hoosiers over the Miami Hurricanes in Hard Rock, as well. Last game as a pro, we're expecting there's a lot of pros that are going to be on the field. We are expecting Mendoza to be the number one pick in the draft as well. I know Dylan, check on his channel. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of mock draft and fantasy stuff here coming up.
By the way, I've got a Patriot preview. You want to hear the Patriot breakdown of Championship Sunday on the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page.
The Patriots, a team that's already back in business. Somebody in my house said is it Tom Brady? No. They've already moved on. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, all of you out there, for watching the post-game, the instant reaction to the Hurricanes and the Hoosiers here on Spunky Spectrum Sports, Ravori Sports Podcast, and Driving to the Top Productions. I want to thank all of you for joining us here as well. Congratulations to our new national championships, the Natty, for the Hoosiers. Thank you, and you have a great rest of your day.